Nice to have you with me here on The Doctor Is In.
You have always been a voice of reason through all of this.
Appreciate your time, what you're doing for America.
I give you advice, and it doesn't work at all.
You are definitely not inept by any means.
I like to hear women say that about me.
Whatever advice you're going to send my way, I am 100% taking it.
I can't tell you what to do. I will not tell you what to do.
Okay. Well, thanks.
That wasn't the answer I wanted.
Are you kidding me?
Great stuff, Dr. Ray. I'm glad I called.
I've scheduled my day around listening to your radio show.
You don't have to laugh so hard.
Now, from the studios of Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio, the hometown of Mother Angelica, here's Dr. Ray.
EWTN plays hardball. I'm sitting here looking at my computer board, and it goes black. And I said, hey, guys, can you help me out? Yeah, we'll be with you in a little bit. Where are you going? Where are you going? We're getting a sandwich. But I can't do the show without the whiteboard. Yeah, well, good job, Ray. Thanks. So they're playing with it right now. This young lady came over. Look at that. How do you do that? Talking to a guy who wore his garage door opener for 2 years so people would think I had a pager. Nice to have you here. Now, this is a unique setting for me. We are in, is it McLean, Tyson's Corner, Tom? Is that where we're at? Tyson's Corner, McLean. What's that called? Oh, you got to get on the set. All right.
All right.
Okay.
What?
Tyson's. I think the love's gone out of our relationship here.
You think?
I have no respect. The Tyson's Corner, McLean. Where are we?
Tyson's Corner, Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
I love their chicken. They have great chicken down here.
Easy now.
Okay.
Easy.
But we're at the radio conference.
The 2025.
No, there's not that many people here.
Catholic Radio. Well,
no, come on.
Catholic Radio Conference. We have affiliates here from all over the United States. We have even people from other countries. So it's a pretty cool thing.
Australia?
Not yet.
Hello. Walk about. I think that's why
you need to work on that.
That's why Matt Fred sounds so smart. It's that Australian accent.
Oh yeah, it's killer.
Marcus Peter too. Same thing. Anytime you add an accent, you add 10 IQ points. Well, anyway, we are delighted to be here, and they had a session this morning that was talking about show prep, how you show prep, and so I told them I wanted to be on the panel, and they said, yeah, well, we'll call you. And they never called.
You're still waiting, aren't you?
They never called. But I do show prep, and I can share with you a little bit of what I do before the show, a little behind the scenes, kind of how the sausage is made kind of thing. Uh-huh. Ooh. Tell me more. I see. That's one option. What might be another? I'm sensing a lot of distress. See, so I just do that for about 30 seconds before I come on the show.
That's great.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, the number is still the same. 877-573-7825 is the number to call to get onto the program. Why would you want to do that? That's the question I ask. Why would you want to do that? But perhaps you have a question about something in your life, circumstance, situation, something that makes you feel a little unsettled, maybe percolating emotionally, something like that. I'm a psychologist. That's my profession. And for many, many years, that's all I did. I did nothing but see clients and consulted to various agencies and school districts. But over time, it's evolved a little bit. Now I can do a little bit of a call-in show here. The difference is I can't do professional psychology here. Can't diagnose. Certainly won't step into another therapist's turf. And I will not do therapy. However, ideas, nuggets, notions, something might help. 877-573-7825. All the lines are now wide open. So you call in, you have a pretty good chance of getting there. 877-57-EQUAL. When I was in the evangelical world, one of the problems that they had with the Catholic Church was the Eucharist. And one of the objections was, you can see that that's just a white wafer, can't you? Don't your senses tell you That's a white wafer. If you put arsenic into the precious blood, you drank it, you die. Well, that's true, but that would invalidate the consecration. I wrestled with that. Many people do. They look at that consecrated wafer and the precious blood, and they think, well, the church says so, I'll believe it. The early church believed it all the way back to our Lord, but it sure seems to go against my senses. And I'm being asked to deny my senses. Well, you're not. I'm holding in my hand a quarter. I'm really not, because you can't see, but let's just say that I am. I'm holding in my hand a quarter. I'm going to try to bend that quarter in half. The quarter is only about 1/16 of an inch thick. Should be able to do it. I have never met any human being yet that I have posed that test to in any audience. The biggest, strongest dude you can find, bend this quarter in half. Nobody can. I ask, why not? Various answers. They'll say things like, well, it's solid metal. It's just solid metal. That's what it is. And I'll say, well, you're totally wrong. This quarter is 99.999999999% space. It's all space. If you distilled this quarter down to the amount of matter in it, you couldn't see it. If you're sitting on a chair right now, that chair is all space. I'm looking around me here in this hotel hallway, and everything that I see when distilled down to its essence of matter is all space. If your wife asks you, do these pants make my backside look bigger, you just simply say, no, honey, your backside's all space. That's what you say. Am I allowed to say that now in the air? Are they going to cut that out now? Am I in big trouble? Okay. Well, I'll hand the quarter to the gentleman, and I'll have him put it in his hand. Say, could you hold your hand as still as you could, sir? Okay. Does that quarter look like it's still to you? Not moving? And then the guys are starting to catch on now, because they know they've been tricked once. They'll say, well, it looks that way. And I'll say, you're right, it does look that way. If we were at the equator, this quarter would be moving approximately 25,000 miles per hour. The Earth is moving around the solar system even faster than that, but you can't sense that. Solar system is moving through the galaxy even faster, and the galaxy is vibrating through the universe incomprehensibly. One scientist, and I don't know how he did this, but he said that the quarter would be moving at approximately 550 miles per second, calculating all the movements. That's not the most mind-numbing thing about this quarter. If you remember your basic physics, the particles of this quarter, the most microscopic particles of this quarter, are made up of atoms. That's what they are. They're atoms. When I was in grad school, I think I was a senior when Einstein was a freshman. Teresa Tomeo had already graduated 10 years earlier. All we had to know was proton, electron, neutron, maybe quark. Well, they now know there's just dozens of subatomic particles. But the most fascinating thing about the countless trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of atoms in this tiny little quarter that's about an inch in diameter is that the electrons in the outer orbits of these atoms are vibrating at close to the speed of light. Anybody know offhand what the speed of light is? You know, Tom? Speed of light? Just go look it up.
186,000 miles per second.
You are a physics... wow.
No, but I play one on TV.
Okay. That's exactly right. 186,000 miles per second. Can you comprehend anything in a space that small moving at 186,000 miles per second? So what is the upshot of my little exercise here? It's very simple. You have no idea what you're looking at. None. Everything you see is only because your very limited senses can pick up a fraction, a minuscule, one might say infinitesimally small fraction of what you're looking at. So the next time you look at that wafer and you say, well, it just looks like a wafer to me, you have no idea of the very substance of that wafer. Do you feel so confident in your senses now? Because what you're looking at is not really what is. At any moment, you are bombarded by photons from the sun, countless trillions of photons from the sun blasting through your body. All around you are television waves and radio waves. You can't hear them. You can't see them. Why? Because your senses can't pick them up. If a tree falls in the woods and there's nobody there to hear it, does it make a sound? It doesn't. It just moves molecules. You have to have something there to pick up the sound. Which reminds me of a counterpart to that, Tom. A gender counterpart.
I know this.
You know this
one? Yeah, but from hearing your jokes 20 years ago. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Maybe some of these people haven't heard it.
I doubt it.
If a man is in the woods all alone, and there are no women there to hear him speak.
Yeah?
If he speaks.
Yeah?
Is he still wrong?
You know what the answer is.
So there. That's my opening monologue. I present that a lot in a talk I give called The Logic of Being Catholic. One other point, now I'll let you go. I'm getting past my point here. My Protestant friends had a hard time understanding how Catholics could believe that the God of the universe is somehow miraculously present in that consecrated bread and wine. So here's the question I posed to them. When did the second person of the Blessed Trinity become human? Now, if they're a traditional historical Christian, they will say at the point of conception. I then say, well, let's stop the tape. Pull that one-celled zygote out of Mary's fallopian tube. Place it under a microscope. What would you see? Would you see God? Would you say, wow, I always wondered what God looked like. He looks like a one-celled zygote. Wow, kind of like DNA, you know, that helical structure. You'd see a one cell. That's all you see. But yet, traditional Christians believe that in some incomprehensible way, that's God there. Well, how is that so much harder to accept than that the consecrated bread and wine becomes the body and blood of Christ? All right, I better get back to your calls. 877-573-7825. I really want to hear from you because your calls make the show. Without you, there is no show. Well, I could talk for an hour. Maybe I want to.
I don't think we've replaced our siding since we moved in 20 years ago. But I'm sure it's still fine, right?
We better call Mighty Dog Roofing of Ann Arbor.
Damaged siding can cause mold buildup and weaken your home structure. Protect your family by calling local Catholics Dan and Mary Flanagan at Mighty Dog Roofing for a free inspection of your siding, roof, or windows. Mighty Dog Roofing, 734-224-4916. That's 734-224-4916.
CMF Curo is a Catholic healthcare ministry providing families nationwide with a better solution centered around whole health, spirit, mind, and body. Our members share their medical burdens within a faith-filled community. At CMF Curo, our members have access to a spiritual director, concierge services, and other health and spiritual resources. Find out if CMF Curo is a better solution for your family. Visit mycatholichealthcare.com. That's mycatholichealthcare.com.
Hi, everybody. Dr. Ray Guarendi, host of The Doctor Is In. Ave Maria Radio has been putting out fabulous Catholic teaching, but the equipment we've got is aged. Like me, needs a lot of help. Some of the stuff is just hard to replace anymore. If you go to AveMariaRadio.net, please, for a donation for the equipment to reach much farther. You're not just donating, you're broadcasting hope.
This program brought to you in part by Ave Maria, Florida, a big kind of small town where golf carts take you everywhere and there's always something fun around the corner. Discover championship golf, resort-style amenities, and a town center full of shopping and dining. With Ave Maria University and Ave Maria Catholic Church at its heart, it's a community full of connection and charm. More than 25 model homes are available for viewing. More information can be found at AveMaria.com. That's AveMaria.com.
Live from the Hilton in Tyson, Virginia, 2025 Catholic Radio Conference. Good to see a lot of my friends here. Very nice to be here. I had to pay to be here. Most of the other people could just come. But they said something about that I had to pay, and I really don't understand that. But okay, I'm used to it. I invite questions of a particular nature, and I invite questions of a generic nature. The generic questions make me really think upon my feet, and that is what Matthew here is asking me. Matthew from Washington. Hello, Matthew.
Hey, Dr. Ray. How's it going?
Yeah, nothing gaining on me.
Yeah, this is kind of a generic question, but also we all have some specifics in there. Think about the concept of peace, and I always love the bumpers that Andrew puts together on your show. And one of my favorite quotes from you is, "You be at peace, or else I'm going to yell at you." And
I was going to say, "You be at peace, or I'm going to smack you," but I figured, I better not say that.
Yeah, yelling is bad enough. But I figure that I listened to your show for over 10 years, and the people that call in and probably in your office, we're all seeking peace. And I was looking through Philippians before this call, and it talked about the peace that surpasses understanding. And there's something about Christ's peace that goes beyond what we can think. And there's this, peace is something that eludes myself and a lot of us, I think. Just curious from your point of view, the intersection of psychology and faith, why do we have such a lack of peace, and what are ways that we can kind of sustain it in our lives?
Well, you got two questions there, Matthew. One, of course, is what is peace? Kind of reminds me a little bit of a variant of Pontius Pilate's question to Jesus. What is truth? And you can practically hear him spitting it out, into Jesus' face.
Yeah.
Well, if you go look at all the psychologists' definition of peace over the history of psychology, you'll find all kinds of stuff. It's a malleable word. It's a broad word. You can define it. But I'd like to take it from what St. Paul said. Peace that surpasses all understanding. And Jesus said that. He said, I'll give you peace that the world doesn't understand. My experience has been those people who are living in faith, seeking our Lord, have a sense of what this is all about, what it ultimately means and will lead to, which means the fluctuations of earthly life, the trials, the tribulations, the struggles, are in that context. So in other words, if someone I know dearly dies, and the pain is intense, and it certainly would threaten my peace, but my eternal peace remains, which is, I hope and pray someday to be alive forever with our Lord, and perhaps to see that person again. So that kind of religious peace puts things in an infinite context. The world, by its very nature, is a temporary context. And if that's all you have, then you're going to be buffeted up and down by the events that hit you. So when our Lord says, I'm going to give you the peace the world doesn't understand, it's a beyond worldly peace. Now that said, does that mean that therefore, no matter what happens to you, you're going to be okay? Oh, no, I'm fine. My dad died, but I'm fine. No, it doesn't mean that at all. Okay, you're going to have the emotions that come with it. You're going to get mad when you probably shouldn't get mad. going to get agitated and lose your peace for 3 days because of what somebody did to you. That's happening, but that doesn't affect the long-term peace that Christ gives you. I think that's what it is. If you know that this isn't all there is, and you put everything that happens in the context of this isn't all there is, that is a piece that generally people can't wrap their heads around if they don't have faith in God or Jesus. I see that. Some of my kids have had some difficult adulthoods. Adulthoods where I've had people say to me, I could never, ever be at peace if that happened to my child. How do you do that? And I said, well, my peace does not come from what good things happen to me here, and neither is it destroyed by what bad things happen to me here. My peace comes from knowing and hoping and praying where I'm headed. So for me, that's probably the best rambling definition I could give you of peace.
Thanks, Dr. Ray. That gave me peace and hopefully humility too.
Well, I can help you with the humility part. I've got that.
I know you can.
I can, and I'm going to write a treatise on that. Matter of fact, I got a new book coming out. People ask me that: the 3 most humble people I know, and how I taught the other 2. So that's something that my dear friend Tom Price over here. He tells me I've heard that. Get new material. Did you hear that one? Well, of course.
I've heard that one many times, but I'll still buy the book.
Yeah. And you guys are killing me. Hey, you ain't paying for this, so you're not getting my best stuff.
There is no best stuff.
Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate it, sir. Molly called, and this is interesting. This is kind of a legal question, and she's not there anymore, I think maybe because it was delicate. She says, for the priest abuse scandal, why do they sue the church and not the individual priest? If I remember my business law when I was in school, what is the word for the person that is responsible? A fiduciary? He has a fiduciary role.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for what he does.
Yes.
Because he's either under my employment or he's under my supervision.
Care. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
So you basically, in legal terms, you go after the deepest pockets.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of the world law.
Yeah.
So if, in fact, a priest acts quite inappropriate, you go after the diocese.
Yeah.
Because they have the insurance, they have...
You go as high as you can.
You go as high as you can, yeah. So you sue Adam and Eve, is basically what you do. You didn't hear that one, did you? You didn't see that one coming.
No.
Uh-huh.
High, not back.
When the priest abuse happened, a lot of people were saying, well, that's it. That's it. That's what Catholics are. If that's what Catholic Church is, I don't want any part of it. And I say to them, well, okay, you know people who are divorced, had ugly marriages? Yeah. So you're never going to get married, are you? Because, if that's what marriage is, then you better not get married.
I got a better one.
Okay.
Let's say that you got somehow a lemon of a car. You bought a new car. It turned out to be a terrible car. Are you going to say, that's it, I'm giving up driving?
Good. Well, that's even better.
Well, there you go. It's on the house.
Mind if I steal it?
Yeah, wear it out. Yeah.
It's out there, Sandy. 877-573-7825.
People just walk up. They just walk up and say hi. I love it.
No respect. I tell you, no respect. Yeah, hi, Roy. And Roy. I don't have a clock here, and I without my glasses on.
It's 25.
25. So I got the break coming up here in a couple of seconds. All right. 877-573-7825. 877-57 equal, acronymically speaking. Like that?
Lovely. Lovely.
If you'd like to get onto the program, bottom of the show is when a lot more people call. Remember, as I always said, we don't take calls necessarily in chronological order. We take them for a lot of different reasons in order. So when you call anytime, you have close to an equal chance of getting in the air. That doesn't mean you're going to get good advice. Getting more calls from girls in 1 hour than in 9 years of college.
There's a reason for that.
They love me for my mind. I don't want to have meaningful conversation. I want to talk about the DH. Is it hurting or helping baseball? That's what I want to talk about.
You don't want to know.
I want to talk about the Abrams A1M1 main battle tank and how fast it can go and still shoot. Manly stuff. They want to talk mini prints and colors that I don't understand and pillow shams, you know?
Yeah.
I make the bed and my wife goes, the pillows, you didn't put them on there. I go, what, honey, they got to go on there? There's like 20-some pillows on there. You know, so how do you get in bed? It takes me like half an hour to get the pillows off the bed.
Yeah.
All righty. I got both of my bosses are here. This is amazing, you know. And you know the thing that's really cool? Give him the...
You tried. You married a girl named Randy.
I did. You know what? I got Jack Williams, Tom Price. Both these guys are my bosses. And the thing is, I'm so dang old. It's like, go ahead, fire me. What do I care? Go ahead. Go ahead. And take the mic there. Take the mic there, Jack.
Yeah, I'm gonna behave myself.
Jack is about 6'10". I don't know, 6'10", 6'11".
Easy.
And
lying down.
That picture that you took of me, I'm 5'1" or whatever I am. I was a jockey in a former life.
Support Iowans for life.
You had your hand. You were standing there with your hand on my head.
No, my elbow.
Was it your elbow?
Yeah. I can't find that picture. They never sent it to me.
It's a great picture.
That was a great picture. You know, I look like a midget. I just standing there. You know, you're huge.
All right, I will leave you to not shrink.
Okay. All right, I got a bunch of calls here. I better take them. Kathy from Boise. Notice how I pronounce that correctly?
Good.
Boise.
Good.
Which is a problem, Kathy, because I've heard there's some movements that they need to change your name. It's a little gender insensitive. Person C. People C. Jeez. Hi, Kathy.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Gotcha. Can you hear me, Kathy?
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yes,
I
can hear you. I'm
okay.
so glad I'm on. Thank you, Dr. Ray.
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes, her radio's on.
Oh, that's it. Kathy, you got your radio on? You got to turn that thing down because you're going to hear me twice.
It off.
And you'll get twice as bad advice. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so, hi, Dr. Ray. My question is that I recently got divorced from my husband, who is not a Catholic, but we've been trying our best to get the kids to church. So I asked my daughter to go to a Catholic youth ministry. He went ahead and let the kid go to a non-denominational, neo-evangelical church, and he personally goes to a Reformed Catholic evangelical church. So there's 3 different pockets in here, right? So when I suggest that, hey, we should have a meeting and stay on the same page for the kids' faith, he said that I'm under a spiritual attack. And then my question is that how do you respond to someone who said that Martin Luther translated the Bible into German, he gave millions of direct contact with the Word, and he said that I disrespect Martin Luther, so I disrespected him. Even in faith, it's a competition. Dominance when the Lord asks for submission. How do I respond to that for the sake of the children?
Well, that's it, Kathy. You put your finger on it. You ain't going to respond to him. He doesn't buy any of this, and anything you say, he's just going to come back, even if he doesn't know what he's talking about, which he probably doesn't. What you do is you take his questions, take what he's telling the kids. You say, please tell me what your dad's telling you. Okay, all right. Mm-hmm. Then you go to some place like Catholic.com, and you type in the question, or you can just search it on the Internet and find good Catholic responses to what he's saying, and your explanations will be, I have no doubt, much more logical, much more sensible, much more fair than his. And he's just firing stuff at you from the hip. The one good thing about it is maybe he's at least trying to embrace his faith as he understands it. He knows 2 things. Jesus is Lord and the Catholic Church is wrong. Those are the 2 things he really, really knows deeply. So given that, yeah, take his questions as an opportunity to teach the kids. Your dad is saying this? Okay, let's look at it. Let's find out about this. And you make sure you got the answers. Say, here's the answers. Kathy, you're kind of having a mini experience that I had. When I was in the evangelical world, I just got blasted with all kinds of Catholic, anti-Catholic stuff from every direction. And I didn't know enough to answer it well. I knew it was flawed, but I didn't know quite good answers that the Catholic Church would have. So I started this search, and it brought me back to the Catholic Church because I found that the Catholic Church's explanations, because there's nothing that your husband's going to say that the Catholic Church hasn't dealt with for 2,000 years. His objections are nothing new where the Catholic Church is going to say, oh boy, we didn't think about that one. What do we do now? How do we answer that? Oh, please. This stuff has been answered up one side and down the other in manifold ways. So you look into it. And the good thing here, Kath, is that it'll help you understand your faith better. There you go, dear.
It does. It does. Thank you. It is a good opportunity for me to look into faith. I just need to pray for my children so they aren't going to go see the truth.
Well, they're going to get shook. They're going to get shook because they don't have any answers. So you're the one who's got to...
They're so confused and they're so scared
that's right. You got to provide the answers. See, they think they're doing something wrong because he's so passionate and powerful in his comments that they're thinking, oh gosh, Mom doesn't have any answers to this, and Dad is so sure of himself. What do I do now? No, you have plenty of answers. All right, my dear. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, hon. Before I go to Cindy from Newport Beach, I got to tell just a little story here, and it's probably going to bang me up against the break, and Andrew, my producer man there in Ann Arbor, is going to say, you did it, you blew enough time, you backed up against the break. Our 7th child was in the process of being adopted. I was in Newport Beach, California, on a boat, floating around looking at all those houses that look like hotels. I called my wife. This was February in Ohio. And I called my wife to share the moment with her. Well, she happened to be in the van with the 6 children because she had to get some of the paperwork so we could adopt our son, who just surprisingly became available and was in intensive care at the time. And I said, honey, hi, I got to describe to you how wonderful it is here. I mean, it's like 75 degrees with a blue sky. And she was in the middle of a blizzard with 6 kids under, let's see, at that time, under 8, 6 kids under 8. And the van smelled, of course. It's going to smell. I did not smell. And there was cacophony in the background. And I was there comforting her, saying, I wish I could share this moment with you, honey. And she said something similar to, yes, Ray, I wish I could share my moment with you, too.
Like right now.
Right now. All right. Now, Cindy, don't go away there, dear. And we're gonna get the rest of you folks here. 877-57-EQUAL. Never too late to call in. Tom, I don't have my normal clock here, so I don't know. Right there it is. Never mind. I don't even have to ask you.
You got it.
I knew. I was like Spock. You know, Kirk used to say, Spock, how long till collision? 2 minutes and 27 seconds, Captain. How did he do that?
I don't know.
This is Dr. Ray. Thanks for joining me. Guarendi here, program Doctors In, co-production EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network, and Ave Maria Radio Communications, my compatriots. Andrew Kruchek, producer man over there in Ann Arbor, and Eric Dumont, call screamer, which he says I'm screaming here because I'm loud into the microphone. No, she isn't. You believe that? All I have to do is think about taking the next call, and they drop. Patricia! Hi, Patricia. Did you know, Patricia, did you know that there was a very popular song named after you? Tom, did you know that? Did you ever hear that song? Patricia? No. It's Patricia? Oh, yeah, it was a big-time organ song, yeah.
Pres Prado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you are a walking compendium of useless trivia.
I can't help it.
It's a beautiful song. Look it up, Patricia. It's a beautiful song.
I will.
So.
I will.
This is an interesting little twist on praying for somebody's health. If somebody else has to die, right?
Right.
Well, you ain't going to pray for somebody to die.
I know. What do you do for that? I mean, and then does my husband get their soul, or does my husband keep his soul?
Oh, no. Your husband's got his own soul there. And you're
There we go. Okay, thank you.
So you're praying for a successful heart transplant and a heart to be available, of course.
Yeah.
Because there's several factors here. One, it has to be that the person who dies typically unexpectedly, because you're looking hopefully for a healthy heart, is willing to donate. Not everybody is.
Right.
So that's a legit prayer. It's a good prayer. You're also saying that you don't want anybody to die to give your husband a heart, but people do die. That happens. Those kinds of unexpected tragedies happen. Accidents, perhaps some kind of unknown quick disorder in the body. It happens. So you're not praying for anybody. The two are not connected at all. You're not praying for anybody's death. You're just simply praying, dear Lord, if a heart becomes available, that's the prayer.
Right.
You know, please keep my husband in mind. How does he have heart failure? What's going on there, Patricia?
Just genetic.
Is he older?
As far as we know, it's genetic. No, he's 60.
No, that's at my age. I don't look that as old anymore. You know, I look at that as like, oh, he's just a pup.
I know, right?
Just a pup.
And then, his family, all the men died of heart conditions, but none of them. They're farmers. They never went to the doctor, so
didn't even know what was going on.
Right.
Yeah. Then he just found himself getting progressively weaker and just thought it was due to old age, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad died of heart failure too. Yeah, when he was in his in his 70s. So Patricia, you don't know, my dear. You're not praying for anybody to die. You're not doing. Lord, can you take somebody early here so I get my husband a heart? That's not what you do.
Right, I know, right?
Ain't it amazing how we got enough to worry about with legitimate sins, with legitimate wrongdoing, but we can concoct stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true.
Well, God bless your husband.
Well, thank you very much.
I hope you guys have a successful surgery, dear.
Me too. Thank you very much, and God bless.
All right, honey. Bye. Okay, real quick before I go back to your calls, Cindy left from Newport Beach, and typically the number one reason I think for people leaving is not because I'm abrasive and obnoxious. Tom. That's not the number one reason.
Really?
That's in the top 3.
Oh, okay.
They use cell phones, and cell phones unpredictably drop.
They do.
So that happens a lot and you know how I know that is? Because not typically, but a fair amount of the time, they drop, and within a couple minutes, they're back. They call again.
Yeah.
So it isn't me.
It's like a bad pen. It just keeps
It isn't me. So here's Cindy's question real quick. She said, will we be able to actually see? Well, no, because until you get your glorified body, you can't see. All right? So you're a spirit. And be with our relatives when we get to heaven. Oh, that's our hope. That's our prayer. And I've heard it said this way, Cindy. If God designed something as powerful as love, why would that end when we reach heaven? Would the people that we love so much on this earth simply be of nothing to us? Now, we don't know, but I think it's legitimate to hope for that the people we love and have loved will be there. Now, that said, of course, it raises the counter question. But what if they're not there? And you think, I can't be happy if my grown son is not there. I can't be happy if my mother's not there. I can't be happy if my spouse is not there. Of course, some people might say, I could be happy if so-and-so is not there. Given that, obviously, our Lord has a way to take care of that. And I've heard many, many hypotheses on why that could be. Expunging of the memory, or that you're so unified with our Lord that dwarfs everything else, or that you have a much better sense of justice. A lot of things. All of it wrapped around our Lord must have a way to take care of all that. because somebody says, I couldn't be happy in heaven. I'm supposed to be happy, but how could I be happy if 3 of my children are not there? So obviously there is a way to answer that. Looking at the clock, I'm going to take a break and then back to your calls. I'm Dr. Ray.
Underwritten in part by the following nonprofit.
Do you feel as though life is flying past you? Are you desperate for a way to find moments of peace and quiet? Lord, Teach Me to Pray, the free Ignatian Prayer Series, will open your heart to His voice, to the peace you are seeking and the only love that fulfills the human heart, Jesus. God is calling you to true joy, knowing Jesus personally. Lord, Teach Me to Pray is free. Go to LordTeachMeToPray.com, click on the red box, order the Lord, Teach Me to Pray series now. Go to LordTeachMeToPray.com.
One person doesn't like the Mona Lisa, the second person does. And the third person says, well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's a popular saying, we know that. Remember, though, that beauty is an element of being. It describes what a thing is. And because it is an element of being, while we talk about beautiful paintings and buildings, we also talk about beautiful persons. We know that Grandma Kuzno is beautiful. We know that our children are beautiful. It even gives us joy to see the cleaning lady in the halls of school because she, too, carries a radiance of beauty. And if someone were to contradict you, if someone were to say, your consideration of Grandma Kuzno's beauty is just your own subjective opinion, we would know that person is wrong. Because beauty is not in the eye of the beholder. It is in my grandmother. It is in my child. GuadalupeWorkers.org.
Hi, everybody. Dr. Ray Guarendi, host of The Doctor Is In, Ave Maria Radio for 20 years. I've been with them. And during that time, I've watched them spread our precious faith to anyone, anywhere. Well, also in that time, their equipment, the equipment that they had is cutting edge, no longer is cutting edge. It's kind of like an iPhone 5. We need your help. We absolutely need your help. Visit AveMariaRadio.net. You're not just donating, you're broadcasting hope. I got a pet rabbit for you. Having a good time here at the EWTN Catholic Radio Conference in Tyson Corners?
Tyson Corners,
yeah. I was looking for the corner. I couldn't see it. It was just a bunch of roundabouts, you know. Tyson Corner, Virginia. We're in Virginia, aren't we?
That's correct.
Kind of south of D.C.?
I believe so.
Think so?
I believe so.
Beautiful Mr. Area. Trivia Man, you don't even know this is south?
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
But it's delightful to be here, and especially to see all the folks in all of the places. And those of you who did not come, those of you who run the radio stations that make the faith go out over the airwaves, you know who you are. Just, that's enough said.
God bless you.
Enough said. Ann is calling from the Station of the Cross. We had a wonderful visit in the Station of the Cross territory the week before last with doing the TV studio taping. I don't know if Ann was in the audience or not. Were you, Ann?
No, I wanted to be, but I couldn't be there due to illness.
Yours or somebody else's?
Mine. I have a bad leg, very bad leg.
Ah, my dear, we could have accommodated you.
I know, but it was just too impossible.
Well, there were a bunch of people, and I probably shouldn't tell you this, that said, "Where's Ann? Of all the people who would most benefit from this, Ann." I said, "Yeah, I know. She looks."
Well, I was a little afraid. I was a little afraid that people brought their kitty cats. I'm very allergic. You know, you said bring dogs, goldfish.
Well, believe it or not, one lady did bring a goldfish. During this show, she held up her goldfish.
Wow.
And I said, it doesn't get its own seat.
Put it back in the bag with the others.
So you're following up on the dear lady who called and was feeling a little skittish about the idea that she was praying for her husband to get a heart, but she didn't want to have that spill over into praying for somebody to have to die to give him a heart.
Yes. My brother, Dan, D-A-N, he had freak accident at work and he herniated his heart, if you can imagine, something so insane. He was pushing something very heavy, pulling something very heavy, and popped something in his chest, and they evaluated a few months later, and his heart had severe cardiomyopathy, which is an enlarged heart, and they said they could not really do anything for him, and he's 32 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
Ended up in the hospital on medication, intravenous, and he became priority 1 status. It was a wonderful family in New York City. Unfortunately, they lost their daughter in her 20s of a brain hemorrhage. They donated all her organs. My brother got his heart in the middle of the night, and he lived another 20 years and got to see his children grow up, walk his daughter down the aisle. And he was like my favorite brother, and it was just such an amazing thing to see him go from so sick to so full of life, and it was such a huge success story. So I just wanted to give a shout out. If you're ever thinking about donating, please do. You'll bring so much happiness and joy to people. Thank you.
Did your brother meet the people whose daughter passed?
No, at that time they couldn't. He could send a letter anonymously, but it was kind of funny. He said, well, okay, I have 2 birthdays now, and I have a feminine side, too. He made me laugh.
You notice that he'd walk into a room and he'd go, that mini print doesn't go with that wallpaper. Or he can say things like, no, that's sort of an off-white. I thought initially it was an eggshell white or a farm white or a linen white, but I've noticed it's an off-white.
So he was hilarious.
Much more sensitive guy. There are those people who would think I might need a more sensitive transplant.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I got my heart, so I don't care. I got my old heart. So he passed away at 52. Was it heart related?
No. What did he die from? He had complications from medication, and but he was the longest survivor of heart, 20 years.
Well, given that this happened many, many years ago, I would imagine that the techniques and the transplant technology is leaps ahead of what it was then.
Yes.
Wow, God bless him. God bless him.
And he was very pro-life. He would encourage people and just make them laugh and just make them, try to cheer them up if they were down. And I will always remember him.
Oh, that's sweet. That's nice. How long ago did he pass, Ann?
25 years ago now.
Oh, my. So, whoa. He got a heart transplant 45 years ago.
Yeah.
They were barely just coming out of the gate with Christian Barnard had just done his first one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, thank you for the call.
It was a huge success story. Thank you for all you do. God bless you.
And if you prompt some people to donate their organs, then you get a percentage credit in heaven. I was reading that in Purgatory today.
I have a Wurlitzer in the basement. Would that work?
that organ, or Thomas, or a Hammond, right?
Oh yeah, B3. No, I'm going to hang on to that one.
You better. Now this is interesting, and I don't. ChatGPT is a liar, and we know this. They can lie. Well, apparently, my producer man or Eric wrote to ChatGPT and asked. What'd you ask? Who's Ray Guarendi, or what is Ray Guarendi? How'd you phrase? What's he all about? What is Ray Guarendi all about? Okay?
Oh,
and here's what it said. I love ChatGPT. I think they're wonderful. It said, an active and beloved figure in Catholic media. That doesn't sound like anything you would write.
No. It lies. It lies.
Oh, gosh. It says, it also says this. It says, as of now, late 2025, there's no major scandal or controversy surrounding him.
Day's not over yet.
No allegations, no legal troubles. Where did I go wrong?
Never convicted. Never convicted.
Well, all righty. Well, I want to thank you for all your calls. I'm here with my dear, dear friend Tom Price. His wonderful wife, Adrienne, is not here, but she just came back from Australia.
20 days.
Her family is there.
Yeah.
Australia's a little more left than the U.S. Is that about safe to say?
Yes.
And that's hard to wrap my head around because you figure the Aussies, I just picture Crocodile Dundee, and he didn't strike me as kind of someone that wasn't.
I think he was the
rough
outlier.
And tumble.
Yeah.
Outlier in the little Aussie language there.
Yeah.
Privileged to do this show. Privileged to be here. Never would have dreamed it. Back when I was doing a lot of secular media, I remember thinking, how often do you have to compromise the topics they want me to talk about and pushing me to talk about them in a certain direction? And I got out of secular media because I thought, I don't want to give up too much of who I am just to get a spot on one of these national shows. I used to do Oprah all the time. Now, in defense of Oprah, they did not ask me to do that. I was kind of a repeat expert on Oprah.
A repeat offender.
Yes, I was.
Oh, okay.
I also did, now don't gasp, multiple visits on Jerry Springer.
Wow.
Now wait, that was before he dove into the sewer.
Okay.
Okay, the last show I was on there, a brawl broke out, and the producers came out during the break and said, Ray, get in there. Ray, jump in there. Get in there. Come on, Ray. Come on. And I just looked at him and I said, nah, I'm not getting into this street brawl. Yeah. And that's the last time I was on Jerry Springer.
You're done.
It was over. Thank you so much for joining me here. The Doctor is in Monday through Friday co-production. EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network and Ave Maria Radio Communications. Delighted to have you with me. God keep you. God hold you. Walk with God. That's the walk. Eternal. He ain't going to let go of your hand. You have to let go of his.
For information on Dr. Ray's presentations, books, and CDs, visit drray.com and follow him on Facebook and Instagram. The Doctor is In is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio and carried across the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.